All right, so Proverbs 14:26, today's devotion. In the fear of the Lord is strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge. I got to looking up that word confidence. I got to looking up that word refuge, strong. And I realized that those include some specifics. Now I'm alliterating, so there's more than this, but this is what we got this morning there. Strong confidence and refuge include stability, security, shelter, safety, strength. It includes sacredness, a sanctuary. Like, God is so many things to us. Now, if you know the Lord, you know he's a God of promise. He's a covenant-keeping God. And he says, hey, I have all these promises that you can retain. But he says, the fear of the Lord, right? In the fear of the Lord. So where can we obtain those promises at? We can attain them by taking heed thereto according to thy word, right? That means that we're going to reverence and choose what he says, and his word and self above ourselves. That word fear is that reverential. Yeah, we could fear. I mean, God could do anything he wanted, but he wants us to love him, to reverence him, to respect him, to regard him, to choose him, right? He created us for his pleasure, so he wants us to choose him. So we can find those promises in his word, in the fear of the Lord. And when we choose anything else above what he says and above his word, we are declaring that our way, because if we're going off of what we think or say, or if we're going off of what someone else thinks or says, we're declaring that either our way or their way, whatever it is greater. But that's problematic, and we're going to see why as I read these verses. Number one is problematic because we shouldn't trust in any one. We should trust in the one. And then secondly, we're forfeiting those promises of strong confidence and refuge when we don't abide in the fear of the Lord. So Proverbs 25:19, confidence in an unfaithful man in time of trouble is like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint. The only person who's 100% foolproof is God. Not me, not you, not anybody. Psalm 118:8-9. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in princes. Can't trust our government. There's so many people right now relying on the government and people. We can't put our trust in them. Proverbs 27:1 tells us, boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. We don't know what's going to happen the rest of the day today. We have an idea. We may even have, things planned, but we don't know what's going to come about today, tomorrow, the next day. We ought not to boast in anything. And here's what we should boast in if we're going to. It says, Psalm 44:8, in God we boast all the day long and praise thy name forever. Selah. 2 Corinthians 12:9, and he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly therefore will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. All right. In the fear of the Lord is strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge, not in other people, not in thoughts and ideas that are separate and apart from what God says, what thus saith the Lord. And here's the thing. When we run to him for our strength, just like the verse said, when we go to him, he said, my grace is sufficient. And then he said, my strength is made perfect in weakness. So when we're at our weakest, we need to still choose. We need to still choose, no matter what, to regard the Lord, to fear the Lord, to be in the fear of the Lord, so that we can rest in his strong confidence and his refuge and his sufficient grace, because he's the only one who's offering us that stability, security, shelter, safety, strength, that sacredness. He's our sanctuary, right? All right, go and be blessed today in the fear of the Lord, and get your strong confidence and get your refuge and your grace.